Thank the gentleman for Virginia, and will yield to my good friend from California 5 minutes, the great salad bowl of the country, Jimmy
Thank you, Mr.
Panetta.
Chairman. I appreciate that. It's an honor to be here with you and the ranking member, and appreciate this opportunity. Director Young, thanks for being here, and thanks for the good work you've done over the past couple of years, especially with your help in passing some historic pieces of legislation that's led to, basically last month, 517,000 jobs created. This month, 311,000 jobs created. Inflation's gone down 3 percentage points to 6%. Unemployment is at 3.4%. The deficit to GDP has fallen from 15 to 5%. The deficit has fallen by 1.7 trillion. Wages are up, savings are up, and boy, are corporate profits up as well. However, obviously we understand that we want to ensure that we do lower our debt and deficit, but the last thing we want to do is screw around with this thing called the debt ceiling, because if we start to do that, if we even threaten that, basically you're going to see GDP decline by 4%, 6 million jobs are going to be lost, unemployment's going to go up to 9%, and stocks are going to plunge, basically causing a $15 trillion hit to our economy. So look, we got a lot of work to do. We understand that. And obviously there are hardships right now that many working families are facing, but clearly we have a good foundation going forward upon which we can tackle these challenges. Now, some of the challenges that we're facing also have to deal with basically the recent storms in my district that we faced. And I got to admit, I appreciate the fact that you're probably one of 2 directors of the OMB that are familiar with the word pajaro. And you don't even have a personal connection to it. But I appreciate your partnership that we've developed in at least addressing the Pajaro River Flood Risk Management Project there in the 19th Congressional District. Obviously, I've raised the alarms about the risks of the potential failure of flooding in that levee, and unfortunately, just last week, the people of the town of Pajaro experienced what can happen when there is flooding, considering that they're completely out of their town at this point and not able to go back in because of a breach of that levee. Now, there's been an authorization to have this project fixed. Unfortunately, there's been this thing called the BCR, this benefit to cost ratio, that really, I would say, prevented any sort of progress since the authorization since 1966. However, we were able to get $4.8 million for the pre-construction engineering and design. And then I'm glad to say with the IIJA, we were able to sort of put aside, well, maybe that's not the right word, at least get past the BCR in order to get $150 million to get that project started. But unfortunately, based on last week, it came a little too late. So we still got a lot to do to get this project going. I guess my question to you, Madam Director, is can you make sure that, are you still committed to working with us to ensure that we can complete this project before this community is devastated once again in a timely manner?
One, I'll tell you, I'm sorry we were late, and I'm sorry that community has suffered. You're talking to a South Louisiana girl who's helped many friends and family pull out drywall. It is devastating for communities, so I'm sorry. But I'm happy that the bipartisan infrastructure law allowed us to put money towards this critical flood control project, and you have my commitment to continue to work with you. Look, benefit cost ratios are important. They're not the full story. What I have seen, Mr. Scott and others, if you have Army Corps project in your neck of the woods, we have got to look at more than just the BCR. It does not tell the full story. And when you ask, why can't that poor community get a flood wall project? Well, their housing is too low to get a good benefit cost ratio. Something is wrong with that. You have my commitment to work on this in a systemic way, in a bipartisan way, because it shouldn't matter who sits in the seat. We have to look at fair ways in which to judge these projects.
Outstanding. Thank you, Madam Director. I appreciate that and look forward to working with you on that. Just quickly, in the 30 seconds that I have, what is OMB's role in ensuring that the projects from the historic pieces of legislation that we passed, the IIJA, the IRA, are improved in a timely manner? And is it possible to speed up the NEPA process without undermining our environmental protections?
So we have to work in a bipartisan way to streamline permitting. The president's been clear about his willingness to engage here, and we need to do that.
Great. Thank you, Madam Director. I yield back, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.